Alere is a group of companies that have come together through acquisition. Through this growth through acquisitions, what we've ended up with is 11 different clinical platforms. And they didn't all necessarily integrate nicely together. So our goal was to come up with a next generation solution. So how did we start off? We went through a vendor selection process. In the fourth quarter, we decided to go with Pega. And there's a few reasons for that. The biggest and most important was we needed to be able to process things in real time. In real time means seconds, not minutes, and it definitely doesn't mean every hour in a batch process at night. Obviously, we needed it to be flexible. Everyone in the healthcare space knows that change is going to happen quickly, and it's going to happen substantially. Regardless of where you were on the healthcare debate, clearly the rules of the game are changing. And we need to have a system that is not only good for what we need today, but what we're going to need for tomorrow, and we have no idea what tomorrow's going to look like. So flexibility was a very, very big thing. And the other piece of this, and Pega hasn't always been known for this, but the later versions of it, it actually does have a very rich user interface. A lot of the people I've talked to about Pega is, it's a great workflow engine and it's kind of behind the scenes, but we're actually using it completely. So we're using the Pega interface, and we're also using IEC from exposing it out to the outside world. So our goal was we need to take and build a platform. We need to build it in 9 months. And oh, by the way, we've never been able to build a platform in any of the previous iterations in less than 3 years. And we need to have all the great things of all 11 platforms brought into one, and for it to work and to work each and every day. So what we were able to do was actually deploy it in 9 months, which we put in here half. It's probably more like 3 times faster than anything else that we've done. From a functionality standpoint, it got twice as much functionality as any single platform that we had before. And again, the ability to roll this thing out and to do it quickly and to have the business engaged at the same time was really important. So if you think of all the things that we do, from the health and wellness to the case management to the disease management providers, all of these are different windows into the system, but it's one system. So at the heart of it is Pega. Actually, throughout the whole system, it's Pega. And it's about how do we provide the right view into this information depending on who you are. So what were the benefits of BPM? We now have the broadest set of healthcare data anywhere in the US. It obviously is real time. If this isn't in real time, we've missed the boat, because it's hard to get a hold of someone, and those teachable moments are very brief. If you have to wait for a batch process to run at night to have someone call them back, you've probably missed the window. This isn't a federated approach. This isn't we've got a bunch of data and we're going to build an ODS to house it. At the very core of this system, in that weird XML blob thing that Pega has, is a 360-degree view of the participant. And I say that because I'm an old DBA and I still haven't quite come to terms with storing data in a blob. But, sorry, I'm dating myself a little bit, I guess. But having all of that in one place makes a huge difference, because then you can do it in real time. It's not an external call to another database. It's not a web service that you're hoping gives you the data back quick enough. It's all housed within one system. And I will say this, Pega is extremely fast at processing large volumes of data, large transactions, and being able to recall them very quickly. So that speed allows us to have the real-time information. This is all done in Pega. It does have a new look and feel. So you've got a header bar of, whether it's the information about the person or drugs or interactions or devices, very easy to get to. You also have the ability to expand and contract, screens. It's a very easy application to use. It's also very intuitive. So what the system's really built around is allowing the conversation to flow with the participant. So the user interface is very, very easy to say, oh, let's move over in this. And while you're still having the conversations, you don't have to interrupt and say, hold on for a second, let me click to where I need to be. It's very easy to get to any place you want to on the system. And the fact that it's very modular means that we can expose or unexpose information very quickly. So for example, we're talking to the person and they say, oh yes, I'm also pregnant. Instantly, things expand. This is a different care plan. So these are the recommendations, and whether you get to them at first or later on in the conversation, we really want to address these things before we get off the call with the person. So again, it's all done in real time. So you don't have to worry about next week, next month, whatever it is, getting that information and then being able to actually change it. The interesting thing about this is it's all built in Pega. So we want to do an online registration. So, they call me up and say, you've got diabetes, we'd love to get you in this program. Do you have 15, 20 minutes to go through a phone conversation? No, I don't. Well, would you be willing to do it online? Sure. Well, with Pega, we can expose the same screens through IEC directly onto the web. So we don't have to build an online version or an external version and an internal version. You build one version, and then you can expose it differently out onto the web. So it makes all the difference in the world in speed to market. So now we don't have to worry about how it's built. We just need to make sure that it works, and then we can choose how we want to use it. We can also, we talked about the iPad. We have a health risk assessment or health productivity assessment. It's online. You can do it right from an iPhone. You can do it from an iPad. Soon you'll be able to do it from a BlackBerry device. Again, building it once within Pega, we're able to get to market quickly. We're also very flexible. We can change very quickly. And we can deploy it in any number of fashions. We segregated our rules based on the type of rules. Because at the end of the day, and I'm the head of technology, I want to get us out of the way. The business is moving way too fast for the typical IT organization to keep up. So we actually engage and empower our clinicians to go in and make clinical rules. We empower our business call center staff to be able to go in and build out business rules. We enable pretty much everybody the ability to go in and change the communication rules. Breaking these rules out means that you can divide and conquer. So we don't have to have a business analyst sit with a clinician to understand what the rule set is, to go back and tell a developer what it is, to have them mess it up, and then go back and forth 2 or 3 times, which is exactly what happens on every technology project, because we just don't speak the same language. Instead, let's let them model it in a user dev environment. Now, obviously, we're still going to take it through the same QA process and the same UAT and deployment, but let them make the changes up front. Let them see what the impacts are, and then we'll move it into production as appropriate based on the quality. It makes all the difference in the world. Again, it just allows the right people to work on the right rule sets without having everything getting single-threaded through an IT organization. We're processing right now 100 million transactions a month. It's a lot of stuff coming in. When you think about a real-time application, that's a lot of data coming through. Benefits to Alere, we got it done very, very quickly with a lot more functionality. We are seeing real impacts to individuals' health. Our outcomes are better because we're not spending the time to call them back. We're definitely more efficient. We can turn around a new client, was 90 to 120 days. Now we're looking at 30 days. We built out an entire program. Normally take us 6 months. We built out an entire program in less than 30 days. It's amazing once you have this thing in place how quick it is to modify it. We believe that the future of healthcare is clear, and it's about information and bringing it together. And we believe that our Apollo platform, utilizing Pega, is a real game changer in the way healthcare is delivered in the U.S. Questions?